want to tell you a secret. You do not have to completely renovate your RV in order to make it feel like a homey and inviting space. I'm Renee Tilby, and over the past 7 years, me and my husband have renovated dozens of RVs. And while full RV renovations are our specialty, we also love sharing tips with our fellow RVers on how to easily make their RV spaces feel like a true home on wheels. So today I'm going to share with you our top 5 tips on how to make your RV feel homey without using any power tools or paint. The first tip that we have for you today is decor. A lot of people are very hesitant to swap out the factory provided bedding and throw pillows that their RV comes with in case they're planning on trading it in down the line. Now, if that's the case with you, just put all of those in storage, keep them on hand, but then absolutely replace them with something that's more reflective of your own style. Just putting down a beautiful bedspread and a few throw pillows in the primary bedroom can go a huge way in order to make it feel like your own space. Then moving into the living room, putting a few throw pillows, a throw blanket, a runner rug, preferably one that is washable, that is our very favorite, and a few plants. Those can really make you feel like it's an actual home. A few tips for doing plants and other decor items. You can definitely use museum putty on the bottom of them to keep them stuck to whatever surface you want them on, or you can also use double-sided Velcro in order to stick them to shelves, tabletops, things like that. Or you can do like we do, we just put them all in the sink on travel days and then cushion them with some dish towels. Another tip for doing decor is trying to keep a pretty cohesive color scheme in order to make it not feel too cluttery. One of the great things about using decor in an RV is a little goes a long way. Just getting like 2 throw pillows, 1 throw blanket can go a long way. But trying to keep things a little bit pared down is usually the best method in order to make it so it doesn't feel too cluttered. The next tip we have for you is wall decor. A lot of people are hesitant, and understandably so, to put holes in their RV walls. So you can absolutely have beautiful framed pictures of your travels on your RV walls without damaging those walls at all. There are these fantastic, I think 3M carries them, they are picture hanging Velcro strips. You can put them on the back of your pictures, put them up on the wall, press that on, and they will stay, and then once you want to pull them off, you pull it and then you release that adhesive by pulling the tabbies. It's a fantastic way of personalizing your space but not hurting your RV at all. A tip that we like to tell people when they're wanting to hang wall art in their RV is to try to buy plexiglass frames. These tend to be a lot lighter than a traditional frame, making it so they'll stick on the wall easier and not get jarred around during travel, but they'll also not break because they're plexiglass instead of traditional glass. So now you know you can absolutely have wall art in your RV. The next tip we have for you today is wallpaper. There are so many different colors and patterns and different types of peel and stick wallpaper, and you can usually get them for fairly inexpensive. You can just pick one cute accent wall to wallpaper to really transform the space very quickly. Another great area to wallpaper is a backsplash. If you're going to be backsplashing above a heated area like your stove, make sure you're using something that's a little bit more durable like a vinyl. There are a lot of really beautiful peel and stick vinyl backsplash tiles that you can use to quickly transform your kitchen without having to do a huge area. The next tip we have for you is the headboard space above your primary bed. A lot of times this space isn't very large and it's very prominent in your space. So this is one of my favorite places to do a mini renovation. You can put wallpaper like we talked about in the last tip, just in that one area. Usually it's very easy because you don't have to cut around anything, just a square space. We've also done fun things like painted like mini murals, a circle, fun swoops, things like that. You can do geometric wood walls. We've done slat walls and faux shiplap above the headboard. Some of the other fun ideas that we've done with the headboard space is we've actually attached tapestries to it by using that same picture hanging Velcro tabs, and you can just put them directly on the wall. You can swap it out easily when you find different fabrics and different tapestries you like. And then we've also just painted that one area as well. So it's just definitely a perfect area for a mini renovation to kind of transform that space in your RV. Now the last tip we have for you is probably the most involved and typically does include using some power tools, but I'm going to give you a few tips on how you can do it without using any power tools. This is probably the space in an RV that the most people ask me how they can change it, and it is the RV slide out trim, sometimes referred to as slide out fascia. This is an area that if you're using your RV a lot, it tends to break down. Sometimes it's just not your style and taste. So you can definitely remove those, usually they're just screwed on. Sometimes you have to remove a little bit of trim and things like that, but they can usually fairly easily be removed. Then what we usually replace them with is just super simple common board. It's like 1 inch by 6 inches. You can get this at any lumber store or any home improvement store. And so what you want to do when you go there, you want to already have all your measurements for your slide out, and then you want them to cut it to length for you in the store. How we did ours is that when we just sanded it down lightly, then we stained it with a little bit of early American stain to make it so it's a little bit warmer, a little bit less yellow. Then we sealed it with a polyurethane. You can also use a wax if you don't want to use a urethane product, and you can just put it right on there. How we attach it is we just use construction adhesive with a caulking gun, and then we're going to clamp it. So you're going to want to bring your slide out in, put the construction adhesive and the common board on, clamp it in place for 12 to 24 hours, whatever it says on there for cure time, and then you have a beautiful replaced RV slide out fascia. Super, super easy. If you are wanting to secure it a little bit more and you do have access to a drill of some sorts, then you can absolutely put screws into it. Just make sure you're very conscientious of the lengths of screws that you're using so that it doesn't hurt anything when the slide out goes out all the way. If you want it to be seamless, you can absolutely go through the slide out in. Usually I'll try to use the same holes that the factory slide out trim went through, but you want to be conscientious of the length as well so it doesn't poke out through the front. But that really is, it's pretty simple. You can also paint that wood white or whatever color to kind of just fade into the walls, but it really is fairly easy to replace those RV slide out trim pieces, and that honestly is such a good way to really transform the space in a very quick and budget friendly way. Whether you use one or all of these tips, I really hope it helps you to create a very personalized space that feels like home. Having a space that feels very reflective of you and feels enjoyable to be in makes tiny living even more enjoyable. Thank you so much for watching, and happy RVing!